This week, we're talking about Megan Thee Stallion.
Ladies-in-law gotta have it. Cases, money, fashion. What's happening?
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in.
Make sure you like our video and subscribe to the Ladies-in-Law.
Yeah, you know that little heart and thumbs up down at the bottom of your screen? Click it before you do anything else.
Right, because legal news like this is too hot to miss, and we're bringing it to you every Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm Rippy.
And I'm Shake.
And we're the Ladies-in-Law,
where we're ripping and shaking up all the legal information you know, need to know, and want to know.
From the tabloids to the courthouse to your own home. For this episode, we're talking about Megan Thee Stallion, one of the hottest female rappers out right now. You know, creator of that whole hot girl movement.
Oh yeah.
Well, Megan is currently involved in a contract dispute with her record label. Here's what she had to say about it.
When that money get involved, that shit just really go left all the time. So to new artists coming out, I just want to say, please, it might seem good, it might sound good, but you definitely got to read. And you got to read and read, all that shit. Don't sign nothing without no real lawyer. And make sure your lawyers is not the lawyers of your label lawyers. Get your own lawyer with their own opinion.
So in February of 2018, Megan entered into a record deal with 1501 Certified Entertainment, which is a startup record label by Major League Baseball player Carl Crawford, whose ex-fiance and baby's daddy is Evelyn Lozado from Basketball Wives. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is somebody we all know too, right? And then Megan soon after released her first album, Fever, in May of 2019. Now, all of you all probably know it was a huge hit. That thing skyrocketed to number 10 on the Billboard's top 200 chart. It was massive.
And Megan's star has been rising ever since her album came out. I mean, she has almost 11 million Instagram followers right now, and she recently entered into a management deal with Jay-Z's company, Roc Nation. Ooh. So Roc Nation is very experienced, been in the music business for a very long time, has very good lawyers on their team. They reviewed Megan's contract that she entered into with 1501 and told her basically, you know, you are getting screwed out of this contract. Yeah. So Megan then goes back to Carl in 1501 and says, hey, look, can we renegotiate the terms of this contract? And Carl just flat out said no. And when they couldn't come to an agreement, Carl tried to block her from releasing new music. So Megan sued him and ended up winning. And she was able to release her hit album right now, Sugar. You guys may know Savage, the Savage Dance, all of that. So just because Megan won that victory doesn't mean that this court battle is over.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, really at the crux of this whole court battle is the fact that the contract Megan went into and she's arguing was so lopsided. It just unfair in every respect if you really look at it, especially as attorneys. And then the legal term for this is called unconscionable. An unconscionable contract that happened, and that's one that is so unfair where there's like one party that has such a better bargaining power, like Carl Crawford, who's already famous, kind of knows the ins and outs of
money, you know, knew what he was doing, knew that he had an upper hand in the contract.
The upper hand in a bargaining power. So what happens with it makes the contract legally unenforceable. And of course that's what Megan is arguing.
So Megan claims that Carl really didn't do anything for her other than offer her a measly $10,000 advance. I mean, we all know that's chump change,
especially for Carl.
They're making tens of millions of dollars, and yet Carl at the same time decided to take big chunks of Megan's streaming income, her income from publishing, and live shows. So the way the deal was set up was for 1501 to get 60% of all of Megan's
60%
of all of her streaming income, 25% of all of her music publishing income, and 30% of any live performances where she took home over $1,000. So these type of profit sharing arrangements are very common in independent labels versus, the large labels. But at the same time, they're usually a 50-50 split on streaming, because that's where most of the money comes from. So it seems like Megan was screwed from the outset.
Oh, from the outset. And it gets worse, okay? It gets worse. It's crazy about this. Mm-hmm. Not only is there not a 50-50, it's a 60-40. Well, okay, you have to pay royalties to mixers, featured artists, producers, all of that. Mm-hmm. And instead of coming out of both the 60% and the 40%, so both Crawford's intake and Megan's, those royalties per the contract are only getting paid out of Megan's 40%. So she's already got the lesser amount, less than the standard, and 20% less than this case. But then you gotta take all the royalties, which is a lot of money out of her 40%. I mean, crazy. And it gets even better. So literally, in a contract, you can decide how you want, if there is a dispute between the parties, like there is in this one, how you want to have it litigated. And in this one, it says that there is a public, but then also arbitration.
Public courtroom.
Yeah, public courtroom. So there's some confusion going on.
And in arbitrations, they typically occur, inside of an attorney's office, so it's very closed off, very private. And in this contract, basically the provisions were very inconsistent. One provision said that all disputes needed to be resolved by arbitration, while the provision right before it said that any dispute must be brought in a court in Texas. So it's like, which one is it? Does it have to be an arbitration, or does it have to be in a public courtroom? So Carl's attorneys filed a motion to compel this case to be resolved in arbitration, obviously, because they want to protect their image and their reputation. Like, it sounds like he's kind of he's trying to keep things under the table.
So of course he wants an arbitration.
So and then of course Megan's attorneys are like, no, we want this out in public court. We want everybody to know how you messed over our artists. So anyways, the judge ruled that the case can be heard in a public courtroom. Ruled in Megan's favor. So that's another victory for Megan. And hopefully other artists are able to learn from this, because it's very, very important to make sure that you know what is in your contracts. Yeah, and as Megan has stated in interviews, when money gets involved, things go left. All the way left.
So if money's involved, whether you're an artist or Joshua, whatever, signing a contract, you don't need to just know what's in it. You need to actually understand what the parts of the contract, the terms of the contract, the implications of them. I mean, the fact that we're conflicting ways to bring this in a court or arbitration, that alone is so red flag.
Yeah.
So our suggestion always is, of course, even if it seems daunting and money costs up front, have an attorney review that, because look at Megan, she got $10,000 up front. But look how much she should have really gotten.
She's spending more she's spending more in legal fees on the back end.
Oh.
And Megan has stated in interviews, make sure not only that you have an attorney review it, but you have your own attorney. So not the record label's attorney.
Oh, no,
conflict of interest. They cannot represent your best interest and the label's best interest at the same time.
Yeah, so protect your rights. Get an attorney like the ladies-in-law. Thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe to the Ladies-in-Law so that you get the hottest legal news every week.
That's another episode of Ladies-in-Law.
Rip it up, shake it up, rip it up, shake it up, rip it up.